Awesome. Yeah, hello everyone. Welcome to SIG Autoscaling for Monday, the 21st of August, 2023. We do have a few items on the agenda. I guess we'll just follow up with the MPA pull request from Haran and Chen. Have you had a chance to give that a review yet, Joachim? Sorry if not.
Sorry, no, I didn't have a chance to take a look yet. I hope I will have time for this soon.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks. Quick one from myself. Obviously, the 128 release happened last week. So we're going to cut a cluster autoscaler 128 release this week. If anyone has any PRs they urgently want to get in before that happens, if you could raise them at some point today, that would be great. Otherwise, just be going off the current state of the default branch and the repo. Any questions about any of that? And anything anyone wants to raise as something they think we should get merged first? No, awesome. I think we covered this last week. David's VPA query. Yes, we did. I'm going to assume we don't have anything more to cover that. Joachim.
Yes, so there is a long LPR that has been long time in review, adding support for custom metrics to VPA. And I think code is almost ready to submit. There are some small cleanups that are requested, but I started thinking about this feature. How are we going to support it? So there are no API changes. There are changes to additional VPA flags that allow VPA to use custom external metrics. And like I started thinking about maintaining it. I don't know if like what like we can add the flags, no problem. But what if we need to remove? How do we tell people that is new thing that we are adding, and there's like what happens if we cannot maintain it, basically? Because David has been working on this mostly. I hope like that will push through. Lali, sorry, Lali is working on this one. What happens if something goes wrong and it turns out the support isn't good enough, basically? And also we should tell people probably that this is a new thing and it's not as well tested as using metric server. So I wanted to ask how to communicate well, especially since 128 is out. So VPA, we will be doing a new VPA release soon too.
Yeah, I guess it comes back to we've had similar conversations in the past around deprecating or changing cluster autoscaler functionality, I think, and I will see if I can find the relevant page. But I think there is a relevant page. Yeah, here we go. Deprecating a flag or CLI or behaviors. So there is guidance. So it sounds like we're talking about CLI elements or behavior. So if we were to remove them effectively, we'd need to announce the deprecation at least a year in advance and continue supporting them unless we feature gated it. So is the intent to, as you said, obviously this is initially like this. We're initially announcing this as sort of this is a first cut of it. We don't think it's not as mature as the metric server support. So are we planning on feature gating it initially to make it easier to back out if we need to in that initial period before we view it as sort of as battle hardened as the metric server functionality?
So can we feature gate in our components that we read from Kubernetes Autoscaling repo? I thought that feature gates were something that for Kubernetes.
I don't think there's anything preventing us from effectively saying you need to explicitly opt into this behavior using a CLI, like enabling this behavior in a CLI flag, which to my reading of that documentation would classify it as behind a feature gate. Like users would have to explicitly opt into choosing to use it. It wouldn't be a default behavior of the component.
Okay, yeah, but that's what we're doing. There are flags you need to set to use this feature. So, thank you.
Okay. Cool. And does anyone else have any questions or concerns for Jochen on that? I shall take that as a no. And that's all we had on the agenda for now. Anything else anyone wants to raise?
Hi guys, do we have a working group meeting today?
Yeah, I was just going to cover that. We don't currently have any more items on the agenda. I had a brief conversation over Slack with Maciek and double check names. Jonathan last week. They don't currently have the document in a position to be reviewed, so I was going to send out a cancellation of the calendar invite. And so no working group meeting this week.
Okay, thank you. And when will you see a 1.2 release, in this week or next week?
The 128.
Yeah.
The intent is later this week. I would probably guess Wednesday, Thursday, Friday rather than Tuesday, but definitely not today.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
No worries. Any other questions from anyone else? I shall take that as a no. Thank you very much, everyone, for attending, and see you all next week. Enjoy the rest of your days.
Bye-bye.
Okay.